In tonight's sports news, Kimani Melius gets nod as vice-captain for West Indies emerging players squad in Super 50, wins for England and Australia in cricket, and Veteran in Sports Inc. to kick off Super 10 knockout in aid of Kick for Cure. We bowl off with cricket. For West Indies and the 19 players, including captain Kimani Melius, will get a strong tune-up for the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup 2020 after they have been included in the West Indies emerging players squad for the Colonial Medical Insurance Super 50 Cup. St. Lucian opener Melius, along with the Trinidad and Tobago pair of left-handed wicket-keeper batsman Leonardo Juliana and pacer Jaden Silas and Guyana's left-arm spinner Ashmead Ned, will be part of the squad, which will be led by Yannick Carrera and guided by former interim West Indies head coach Floyd Reefer. Kimani Melius is recommended as vice-captain for succession planning purposes. He is the West Indies Under-19 captain, and the intention for the exposure is to give him a greater opportunity for learning and growth. The emerging players squad has been introduced into the Super 50 Cup by Cricket West Indies to facilitate further development and learning opportunities for players that have featured in the Cricket West Indies high-performance pathway in recent times. We continue with cricket news. James Vince ensured England began their winter tour of New Zealand on a high with a 7-wicket victory in the first T20 in Christchurch. Vince struck a fine 59 of 38 balls as England reached a target of 154 with 9 balls to spare in Chris Silverwood's first game as head coach. Ross Taylor made 44 in New Zealand's 153 for 5, with Chris Jordan taking 2 for 28 and debutant Pat Brown 1 for 30. The second game of the 5-match series is in Wellington on Sunday. And in more cricket news, Australia cruised past Sri Lanka to clean sweep their 3-match T20 International Series on Friday, with an informed David Warner grinding out a third successive half-century in the 7-wicket win. The home team have been dominant throughout, winning by 134 runs in Adelaide and by 9 wickets with 7 overs to spare in Brisbane ahead of the clash in Melbourne. Sri Lanka's batting had been insipid until now, but they finally posted a competitive score of 142 for 6, with Kusal Perera hitting 57. We move on to veterans football. Veterans in Sport Inc. under the theme Kick for Cure presents the Top 10 Super Knockout Tournament scheduled for the 2nd and 3rd November 2019 at the Philip Marsay Grounds in VA4. The preliminary round of matches will be played on Saturday 2nd November, with the semi-finals and grand finals scheduled for Sunday 3rd November 2019. For the tournament, the 10 teams have been seeded with Miku veterans and Flow Lancers rank 1 and 2 and afforded a bye to the second round. The other 8 teams are subsequently ranked: Grosile, Central Beaufort, Soufriere, Labowie Connections, Marshall, VSADC, Labrie Veterans and Dennery All Blacks. There will be an exhibition match on Sunday, 3rd November, featuring Island Masters out of Canada coming up against CARICOM Masters at 6:30 p.m. Action kicks off at 3 p.m. on Saturday with Labrie Veterans versus VSADC. Finally, domestic football. 2 matches were played in the St. Lucia Football Association President's Cup on Thursday, 31st October at the Philip Marsay Grounds in V4. In the first game played, Togetherness Youth were runaway winners against Bays, defeating them 6 goals to 2. They got the goals with a brace from Rohan Lamy in the 52nd and 60th minute. The scorers for Togetherness Youth, that's the other scorers that is, getting 1 goal each, were Alpheus Alexander, Shane Harris, Larry Harper and O'Keely. Ricky Louis got a brace for Bays in the 21st and 79th minute. In the second game played, Flow Lancers AFC scraped home a 1-0 victory versus Tivali, courtesy of a Niall Alexander goal. That's how we end sports news for tonight.